Hello, online pipe community. Ethan, Parsimonious Piper here. It is Cobb Tuesday. I have my Cobb Tuesday Cobb, a Missouri Meerschaum Diplomat Apple. No Cobb Tuesday hat today. Still too hot and sticky for that to be fun. In my Cobb Tuesday Cobb, I have nothing yet. Well, because today we are going to pop a tin of Edward G. Robinson pipe blend and see what our first impression is. Ooh. It comes in a nice ribbon cut. Now this is Burley, a couple of different Cavendishes, a golden and a black Cavendish, and a pinch of Latakia, from what I understand. I do not smell the Latakia at all. Maybe it will be evident in the flavor. I do smell, there's supposed to be a plum and a liqueur or wine topping on it, and that is kind of what it smells like. It has a dark fruit, plummy type aroma with just a little bit of a bite, as if there's a liqueur or wine in that. It's just marginally moist. I might normally leave this out to air dry, but for a first impression, I smoke it directly the way it's packed. So let's give this a go. The Missouri Meerschaum Diplomat Apple will take a 6mm filter. Today I am smoking without the filter because I want to taste the blend more directly, not muted. If it turns out that this is a steamy blend, but not too goopy, then I might smoke it with the filter in the future. But let's see where we go with this. Still have a decent draw there, but not packed too tight. I have to smoke this inside and see what my wife thinks of the room note. Because I do get the kind of dark fruit, slight sweetness there, not what I think of as a sugary aromatic sweetness. So the topping is not, the topping doesn't appear to me to be overly sweet. That's just a charring light. Let's get this lit for real and see if there's any difference deeper down. There we go. Now this is classified as an aromatic. It does not have the overly sweet characteristic of so many of the fruity and dessert flavored type aromatics. That's something I'm not particularly fond of. I know some folks just rave about Molto Dolce and things like that. Looking at you, Jeffrey Alton Carter. And Greg Tunnell. This might be an aromatic you would like if you're not fond of those overly sweet aromatics, because this is not overly sweet. Like I said, that plum flavor, plum wine, whatever the topping flavor is there, but it is not sugary. And when I slow down here, it does actually taste. It tastes like the tin note. If you are used to tasting the dark fruit type notes that you get from a good Perique, then you will probably taste that in this, minus what some people perceive as a bite from Perique. There isn't any of that spicy pepperiness, just the flavor. Pretty good. I am gonna definitely have to smoke a bunch more bowls of this in some different pipes. I'll throw it in a real Meerschaum and a couple of Breyers to see if this joins my very limited aromatic rotation. Not bad at all. Number of you have recommended that I try this, and I think you're right. I do like it. Again, whether it becomes a cellar blend, that's a whole different question, but would I keep some of it around for an aromatic? I need to find out if my wife likes it. Because the aromatics that I keep on hand have to be ones that both of us like, or it's just not worth stocking up on them. Now, on to the question. Chad, Yardism, keeps posting questions every week, and well, I've skipped a couple of them. A couple of weeks ago, he asked for us to name a presenter or a non-presenter that you wish would post videos. Well, a year back or so, somebody convinced Stonehenge Minstrel to start making videos, and he doesn't post a lot of them, but he has started putting some out, and they're fantastic. Whoever it was who convinced him to do that, thank you. He would have been my first pick if he hadn't started doing that this last year. But there are a lot of people, a lot of commenters that I think would probably be interesting presenters, guys like Brian Quilty, Tom York, Paul. There are just a bunch of them out there who are interesting commentators and probably would have some interesting videos. I understand why some people don't get in front of the camera. There are lots and lots of reasons. Of course, any of those guys I'd love to see. And there are so many more who are people out there who are commenters, but not presenters, who I think would probably make some pretty interesting videos. And then a couple of our last week he asked us what is beauty, and there were so many people who responded quickly to that with the kinds of answers that I was thinking of. Things like images of your family, of children, things in nature. There's so many. Talking about how beauty comes from your own attitude. There are just so many good answers to that, so we're not going there. This week, however, Chad asked And he said, obviously this is going to be wide open to your own interpretation. How much money is too much money? Well, I come at this from a Christian stewardship standpoint, but I think it's applicable to anyone, whether you are a Christian or a believer in any faith or none. Because it has to do with stewardship of what you have. Stewardship with what you have is basically just the wisdom to use the resources. I think you have too much money, whether that's in income or in some form of invested wealth. If you cannot make wise decisions concerning the use of that money, that could be any income level. It doesn't matter whether you make $25,000 a year or millions a year. Do you use what you have wisely? If not, you have too much. I am not pointing fingers at other people. Believe me when I say that. Because in the U.S., particularly as we've become a more comfortable society, look, truth is here in the U.S. that people on welfare have more square footage of living space on average than middle classes do in many countries in Europe. Larger living spaces, air conditioning, televisions, internet, cars. The average family on welfare has 1.5 cars. Something like that was the last time that I saw the statistic updated about 5 or 6 years ago. So we have even our poor compared to the middle classes in other countries and the middle class here in the U.S. decades ago. Our poor have enough, and as those of us in the middle and upper middle classes have become more comfortable, the question becomes, are we using our money wisely? In many cases in the U.S., the answer is no, because an awful lot of people are living on credit. And living on credit means you are living above your means. That's not wise. I have been guilty of that, just like everyone else has, here in the U.S. anyway. I say everyone. It's not true. There are people who, from a very young age, have made wise decisions with their money. I was not one of them. Took me a while to figure that out. So, how much money is too much? Well, if you can't make wise decisions with what you have, then you have too much. If you do, maybe you can handle more. That's actually a biblical lesson, but we'll leave that for another time. What we will do right now is tell you, light something you like. Might be this Edward G. Robinson blend. It's pretty decent. Enjoy your afternoon.